Welcome to the NDE World Podcast, where we explore the magical, mystical, and spiritual world of near-death experiences. And now, Ashton Lewis and Daphne Lynn.
Welcome back to the NDE World Podcast. I am your host, Ashton Lewis, and my lovely hostess, Miss Daphne Lynn, in the studio today. Hello, Miss Daphne.
Hello, Sir Ashton. How are you today?
I'm absolutely fantastic, baby. Thank you for asking. Just really getting into this life review stuff, and we got some really good comments today that were kind of like, tagging on from the previous episodes.
In our marathon.
Yeah.
Life review.
Life review marathon, So those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And those who are returning, welcome back. And in case you didn't know what the life review is, guys, hopefully you'll find out soon enough. But just to kind of give you an idea in case you are new to all this right here, it is said that when we transition over, however you want to look at that, the afterlife or the other side of the veil, or what would you call that? The transition? Our transition?
Yeah,
it's not death, because we don't die. I don't like to use that word anymore. For common people, when we die, okay.
Right.
But I like the word transition. But when we transition over, there is what's called the actual life review, where one actually, gets to review all the good things and all the not so good things that they've done in their life, in their interactions with their fellow creatures and humans and everything on Mother Earth, pretty much. Yeah. You also get to feel what they felt during these interactions. So the more love you put out, it's going to be heaven. It's going to be a bliss. The more not so nice you put out, it may not be as comfortable. However, everything is done with love. There is no judgment, and it is for the growth of you as a soul. So it's kind of a quick overview.
Should say there's no external judgment, as we've been taught.
Right.
Through religion
like
and
that.
indoctrination.
It's not, no. However, you are going to, I don't like the word judge because that's not the proper word. But you are going to be the one who, goes through what you're going to have to go through to help make those decisions on, I could have did better there. I should have did better there. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, fuck. Oh, wow, I did that.
What can I do next time?
And also, it also has a rippling effect also, guys, because when you do something to someone, what you do to them is going to keep rippling, okay? So that affects so many people, and you're going to be affected by that as well in the life review. Anyway, you go through it, everything's good to go, and you move on from there. Depending on each person, it's all individual, will depend on where they go from there, pretty much. Well, Daphne, if you would, go ahead and jump right into the question, baby, and we'll go ahead and just start.
Okay, so the question from one of our platforms said, when you had your life review and felt the pain you had inflicted on others, did you feel everything, including the way you treated a store clerk or even someone who asked you for money on the streets? I'm just wondering how in-depth that review was.
Okay, perfect. Again, this person was asking a question on, does the life review only come back on us with really serious things that we've done and, with people, or does it affect just anybody, anybody on the streets or like the store clerk or anybody you interact with? I'd have to say yes, more of that. It really includes anybody and everybody that that you've interacted with, regardless of, say, their occupational position or, where they work, what they do, how they look, whatever. It's what you did with them. Did you give love when you had the opportunity to give love, or did you operate out of fear and harm, So that's really what it all comes down to. So
exactly.
This first comment that we're going to pick up with today, where we left off, it is where I have kind of come to in my life. I'm not saying this is what it is and everybody, hey, you got to believe what I believe. However, we all go through these comments and things like that, and there's so much harmony. There's so much resonance with the actual comments that your spirit just lets you know, hey, this is right, So it's just more of that sense of knowing,
For us.
for us, and for others, every individuals. This is only, all spirituality is an individual thing, okay? Although we all are one. We're all individual expressions of that one. Now, stick with me on this now. I'm going to go ahead and go with the first quote here. It says that the judgment day that Christians talk about is the life review, okay? Let me repeat that one more time, and then I'll move on. The judgment day that Christians talk about is the life review. And we'll comment more on this here in a moment. It goes on to say that we judge ourselves. And this person, now this is keeping in mind an actual experience. They didn't go read this in the book. This person experienced this. And that's what we do, is we share these experiences with you guys. Okay. You make the decision on what's what, whether it resonates or,
Right.
with you or not. Now, it says here that in my life review, I felt the pain I caused on the level in which they felt. Just as there are different levels of physical pain, there are also different levels of emotional distress. Mm-hmm. It was very hard to endure the things that I saw. Then later realized the level of pain was nowhere near what other humans cause. Leaders of masses, such as presidents and preachers, will feel the pain that they caused and all of the people affected by their words or actions. I have a preacher friend at my local church that validated this information. Religion was never meant to be a weapon. Through that weapon, however, pain is felt and the moment is not omitted in the life review. So, their experience would seem a lot more painful when many people are felt at once. Makes sense. I wouldn't say that my experience was 10 times. It was more of a 360 view and felt exactly what they felt with an indescribable clarity. Wow, there got a lot of good comments in here, Daphne.
They do.
You can probably spend a whole episode just on this one comment.
Right,
Let's just kind of break it down and just hit the highlights if you don't mind.
And I'm going to take the very end of this comment, and then we can go back to the beginning of the comments, because this person says that it was more of a 360 view and felt exactly what others felt in an indescribable clarity. Mm-hmm. You hear this so very much throughout these NDEs, and that's just part of the life review experience, is having that 360 and feeling what others felt.
It's really the tune into the oneness.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are all that is, you can see yourself from any perspective. You say, for example, we can take our bodies as an example, like we've, learned in a lot of these things here. Your body is your body, but, I can hold out my arm here and look at my hand. Right now I have fingers, A finger is a finger, but it's its own thing, However,
it's all part of the body.
It's all part of that hand, and the hand is part of that body, and that body is all part of that one. Mm-hmm. In the same sense, spiritually, there is God is what we call God, that great spirit.
Everything is one, and if everything is one, then you're going to be able to experience what others felt because of the oneness.
Because it's you.
Yes, we're all connected. The collective.
If you're the only thing that exists, say like on the other side. You got to understand the separation down here on Earth. Okay, separation is something here that we're all caught up in. Actually, it's an illusion.
Right.
On the other side is that oneness.
The oneness.
Mm-hmm. You go back to realizing that, okay, I am who I am, but you forget it down here. And from what I'm understanding, it's our life's mission to be able to remember who we are and why we came here, and to love and treat others with that love along the way. So, if not, you're going to come back and re-experience in the life review. So let's break this down.
Okay, so the Judgment Day Christians talk about is the life review.
Now, that's an interesting concept.
Yes, this is something that I have come to believe in through listening to these NDEs, through reading the stories, through watching these videos. This is something that my belief system has changed on, because I was taught there will be an external judgment from a higher power when we cross over into that afterlife. And from listening to these accounts, that is not the case. In any of these accounts, we all judge ourselves. There is no external judgment whatsoever.
Right.
What
I understand.
Any angelic beings, energy source, anything that is with you through your life review are indifferent to what you done. You judge yourself. Right.
And so, which is very conflicting with a lot of your major religions today.
Exactly.
That
yes.
teach, the afterlife. And, and you have a lot of your big major religions that, they got a patent on it. They've got the market wrapped up. They got monopolies in the afterlife. They got the heavens and the hells and all this stuff that they control, and they offer ways out and stuff like that. It's, oh man, when you're free from all of that and realize that, man, it's all been an illusion.
Yes.
It's, oh wow.
It's very enlightening and uplifting because you are released from fear.
Right.
Because nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to be condemned in any way, or form, or fashion. Yeah. But yet, that's what mainstream religion teaches. And when you can rid yourself of that fear, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be enlightened and just have a peace about you about the afterlife.
Yes, and the secret, guys, is you've got to live right. You've got to have the right mindset. You've got to have the right heart set. You've got to have the right body set, the right whole soul set. Everything you do has to be focused on, walking that walk and being that oneness. And the more you focus on that oneness, and more it starts to open up, the more you start to realize things. And then the more you start to have a deeper love and appreciation for people, regardless of their religion, regardless of their backgrounds, whereas religion, it's kind of going to, it's way different from spirituality. It's more of a separation. It'll divide and things like that.
Right.
Whereas spirituality and this kind of stuff, it unites all people regardless of their beliefs, regardless of their backgrounds. You can still love Jesus and still understand this kind of stuff as far as the afterlife goes. You can still love, Krishna and still have these kind of experiences in the afterlife. These experiences aren't religious based, and in fact, we know from these studies that religion doesn't even carry over on the other side. So that's another topic for another episode. So.
Oh yeah. So to comment on all of that, the way I'm seeing religion now is it's divide and conquer.
Right.
Go make disciples and bring everybody into this religion. That way we can control everybody. That's my perspective on it. But if religion is what's bringing you to your higher source, by all means, use that to be the better person. But from my perspective, I see it as divide and conquer, us against them, when we're all one.
Right. So. And some religions do teach oneness, and other religions divide us, them. Most are dividers, to be honest.
They even speak with forked tongues, a lot of them. You're the oneness, but you're going to do this if you don't do that.
Right.
The conditions that's put on everything.
Control. It's control.
Yeah.
That's another episode.
A whole other episode, yeah.
So this person in this comment said that in their life review, that they felt the pain that they caused on a level in which, they felt. And it goes on to showing there's different levels of pain and things like that. And I think their point is, whereas you take a person that might have, did a few things, that would be considered just really not nice, but for the most part of their life, they were a good person to the best of their abilities, and they interact with other humans, and they helped people in need, and they did good deeds, and there are people, and regardless of this got nothing to do with their religion. Keep that in mind.
Right.
Okay? It's not because of their religion. So when they have this life review, yeah, that's going to be, you're going to feel uncomfortable with the pain, the painful parts, I'm sure. And you'll have a lot more good to balance it out. However, like this person says here, what about people who are supposed to be over groups of people? Or say, for example, preachers, okay? A preacher doesn't realize that, if they're not teaching a truth, even though they believe wholehearted, whole soul in everything, their whole, mind, body, and soul, that, hey, I've got the Holy Spirit of God is in me. I am preaching. I believe in who I believe in, and this is what I believe. Mm-hmm. As long as everything's done in love. But the point is, you're going to be responsible for all these people and the lives that you should be sharing with them on how to live and what to live. And, instead of teaching them, maybe go out and get all the money you can get and go out and do this and do that. You're teaching what we would call the wrong gospel, So the point is we should be teaching people how to live. Okay, not to go do what you want and don't worry about it because somebody's got your back. That's a big major issue in the world today. It's irresponsibility. The
hypocrisy.
Yeah, and it creates this hypocrisy. It creates the evil in the world. It creates that division, the us against them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and like it's saying here, let's say if you were someone who did a lot of harm to a lot of different people. He used the illustration here like a president over a whole country. Presidents that's a big load. You could be responsible for a lot of people in a way you don't even know. So I think what they're trying to say here, isn't the life review supposed to be, I guess, that balance of you reap what you sow, you put it out. Whatever you put out is what you get. In other words, if a person only harmed a couple of people or did a couple of things, they're going to have to feel the harm or the hurt from those couple of people, right? Whereas, the person harmed many, many people, then that person is not going to feel just the pain for two people, like the other one that harmed two people. They would have to feel the pain or the love or whatever from all the, 270 people that they harmed or whatever. Just throwing stuff out there.
Yes.
Is that what they're saying here? And that's what I'm understanding.
That's what they're saying.
It's the scales of justice. Everything is supposed to be put back in balance. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is every person you've ever come in contact with. Whether it's, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, just because you're a president, you're going to feel the pain of all these millions of people that you never had any interaction with.
Right, but
I think it has to do with
maybe,
sure,
but I don't know. I'm not making a claim here. I'm saying it's just something to think about. It's in reference to this person's question. If you're responsible for harming more people, then that's gonna be more hell, literally, because you're going to have to feel the pain of a lot more people.
Yeah.
I don't know if a president will be directly, like you said. We don't know, but we all are, interacting with people every day.
Right.
And I think it just depends on the individual and their interactions and things like that. So, but I guess the bottom line, and then we'll go ahead and move on, is it's a reaping and sowing. In other words, the life review, whatever you put out in this earth, okay, you're sowing. You're putting out your seeds. You're putting out seeds of love. You're putting out seeds of kindness. You're putting out seeds of joy. You're putting out seeds of peace. You see where I'm going with that?
You're putting out seeds of destruction and anger and wrath and hurting others. I mean, you're planning. You're planning. So you're going to get that back in the life review.
Right.
Your reaping comes at the transition when you're in that life review.
Right.
Some of it is immediate.
Yeah.
But the overall, the ending of this incarnation is when you're going to actually feel what has happened.
It's when you get to go harvest.
Yes.
You get to harvest your crop,
Yeah,
and keep in mind, guys, a disclaimer as well. Also, from what we understand, this is also all done in love, okay? Don't fear that you're going to be there and there's going to be demons and devils and everything around you and you got to go through all this horror. No, that's not what this is about.
This isn't religious based.
It's not. The point is you're going to feel, you will be tuned in and you will feel, both the love and the harm that you put out. However, the environment which this is all taking place is all pure love, okay? And a lot of times you have guides that are there, spirit beings that are there, Jesus that is there, God that is there. It just varies from all kind of different people. There's something or someone there holding you in their love. And to let you know, I've even heard of a Muslim, a beautiful account. This person saw this beautiful goddess. It may have been the mother.
Yeah.
I don't know. But she came to him and just kept looking at him, didn't say a word like that, and just like this most beautiful and just, of course, it was a spirit kind of woman, like, and just walked up to him and just wrapped her arms around him, and it just when she put that, all of a sudden he went to his life review. All of this stuff was going through his mind and all that, but at the same time he was experiencing it, she was holding him even tighter. And that love, just like a mother just holding you, hey, I got you. And that's just one little account. We hear so many accounts where you're going to have your backup team that you're going to be okay. This is not any kind of condemnation, okay? Right. This is not some kind of punishment, some kind of judgment, some kind of torture, anything, But it's going to be unpleasant for a lot of us. However, it's for our own growth and our own good.
Soul growth, exactly.
Soul growth, So moving right on along. That was kind of a little bit of a little winded there, guys, and I do that sometimes, like I said.
Oh, we both do. That's okay, though.
But it's good information.
Yes, it is wonderful. Yeah.
I would rather do one comment and spend a whole episode on it if it's full of really good stuff, than do 100 comments and not really getting anything out of it, So
the meat of it.
Yeah. So we spend more time on the certain ones than we do others,
Yeah,
so speaking of, go ahead and take the next one, Daphne.
Okay, many NDEers see things in their life review that are painful. One man cried out that he couldn't take it anymore. But once it's over, We are loved in spite of our shame, unconditionally.
Kind of sort of ties in what we were just talking about. Bottom line, guys, what does it say? We are loved.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional. That's God. God
Pure love.
has no condition. That's right. That's pure love. That's different from the God of the Bible or the God that religion teaches, that's going to torment you and is going to punish you and that is wrathful, that is judgment. No, that's not God. Okay, that's the man made. That's God made man's image.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional means without condition.
Without condition. And also the radical acceptance of all that is.
That's right. Accept it whether you understand it, don't understand it, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you're trying to judge. No. Just let all judgment go and just
exactly.
be
That's
loved.
what I was going to say. Whether you judge something as good or bad, you are judging it.
That's right.
We've got to stop our judgments.
That's it.
That's the point. Stop judging things. And if somebody says or does something that does not resonate with you, that makes your walls go up or whatever, don't condemn, don't judge, but okay, listen, but you don't have to accept it.
Bite that tongue in some cases.
Yeah, well, isn't that interesting? And let it go. I mean, we don't have to be so condemning. And I'm working on this because I used to be very, very, and it shames me how condemning and judgmental I used to be.
Yeah, but it wasn't
but now that I can
really
see that,
condemning.
it's like, wow. I mean, oh my gosh, it's very enlightening.
As long as we can see it, we can grow.
Exactly. Yes, I love it.
And I've known a whole lot worse characters out there. But I just made a judgment, so I take that back. I regress.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on along. This next comment says that there are legions of light being healers and masters who assist those who have left a physical life experience or transition, aka death. When we die, we become the most divine and elevated version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The expansive divinity that understands implicitly that we are all connected and that we all belong to one another. It's this version of ourselves that reviews our life experiences on earth. Very good. It is unfathomable to a divine soul that we would ever inflict pain, suffering, or hurt on any other human being. So even the smallest indiscretions become intensely painful experiences to witness. The self-imposed judgment and shame can be breathtakingly brutal during a life review. We then have to make peace with who we choose to become during our human life experience. Light being, healers, and masters assist us to integrate, accept, and heal from our human lives on earth and integrate our experiences into our soul ascension and expansion.
This person gets it.
This person gets it. This person
I
gets it.
love this comment. I really, really do.
Let's break it down then. Where do you want to start? Wow, let's go ahead and start. Yeah, anywhere, Daphne.
Well,
There's actually quite a few here.
Yeah, I'm going to pick out the light beings, the healers, the masters that are on the other side. And they're there to assist us, to help us in many different ways as a soul. When we die, we become the most divine and elevated version of ourselves because we're transferring back to our soul. We are not this physical existence, the story, whatever you want to call this avatar that we are in and animating. We are not it. We are the soul, the life that is within it. And the light beings and masters are there to assist us, to help us to continue to grow. And at the end of this comment, it says that they're to assist us, to help us integrate and accept and heal. That's those hospitals and schools that are on the other side where as a soul we go to continue to grow and heal as a soul.
What about, I like the comment here, if you don't mind commenting on it, it says that it's this version of ourselves that reviews our life experiences on earth.
Yes, you only, from reading The Journey of Souls, you only experience this existence on this plane. I mean, every life, we have reincarnation. So each life is a review of that particular time frame on earth. It's not all your lives combined from what I'm understanding. It is just the life that you've just lived.
When you transition over, okay, you, that God, that spirit, that source, okay, you're the one that it's this version, this higher self of us, this higher version of us that we can get to today, even in today's world, if you do meditations and actually learn how to get to that higher self. But that God in you, that higher self, that soul, that being that's in you, like it says here, it's this highest version that we go back to is that's what actually reviews our life experiences on earth. I guess what I wanted to add to that.
Reconnecting to your higher self.
Yes, is that the ego self doesn't cross over on the other side, so you can't resist it. You can't make excuses. I mean, you can if you want to. You can sit there and deny it all you want, but what good is that going to do?
Because only truth resonates on the other side.
Yeah. So that's the point. You are that higher, purest version of you, what we call God, okay? And you are seeing it through the eyes of God, that from that pure perspective. And that way you have that pure sense of understanding when you're looking at it, or what we would call judgment or whatever, It's just, it gets you thinking, that's all.
Really
I just wanted to throw that in there, that on the other side, it's pure you. You can't fish out of it. Like on this side, you can wiggle out of it. Some people can pay their way out of it. You can bribe yourself out of it. You can talk your way. You can escape. You can run. You can hide. But you'll never get away.
Yeah, I like the way that this person brings it out. So even the smallest of indiscretions become intensely painful experiences to witness.
Yes.
And we have the self-imposed judgment and shame that can be breathtakingly brutal throughout this life review. And that's why those
other beings,
the light beings and healers and masters are there to assist you, because it's hard. It's breathtakingly painful.
Yeah. And you can also go out and fix a lot of that stuff now, if you can, if you're in the position to do it, or you can,
you can't, I don't think you can go back and fix it, but I think you can continue and learn to do better than
forgive
and forget.
So you can help a lot of that on this side, but it'll make it a lot easier on the other side.
Yeah, the more good you have, the more good reviews you're going to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving right on along. This person says that I honestly believe that the pain you feel is, quote unquote, hell. I don't truly believe anyone would be sentenced to a fiery hell for eternity, so we suffer in our life review for all the bad things we did. Somebody else that gets it. Daphne, would you like to comment?
Yeah, most definitely. This is something that I believe in as well. We feel the pain, and that pain is hell. Just like living right here on earth right now, some people are experiencing some traumatic, hard things that they're going through, and that is hell for them.
And a lot of, correct, and they're going through hell because people are putting them through hell. Well, guess what? When you go on the other side, if you're feeling what you put through, if you're feeling what you put out, you're going to feel the hell that you put out. So once it clicks, guys, it clicks, but it also puts things in harmony with the God of love, and it destroys the foundation of so many different belief systems, and really gets you back to the foundation of who you really are, who we really are as human beings. We were here before any group, we were here before any religion, as far
humanity,
the soul of all,
Right, and I'm going to give us a plug here, because we have several episodes already on hell, and that it is not a physical place of torment for the afterlife spirits. It is not a place. It is a state of mind.
Right. Which is worse. Seriously.
But you can change that state of mind.
The point is, your mind can be hell, or it can be heaven. Let me ask you, there are stories after stories after stories of people who have been in concentration camps, that have lived and watched their families murdered, that have been brutally beaten, abused, starved, and tortured all of their lives. But guess what? They were in heaven in their minds. They were in hell. You could not kill them. You could not destroy them. Okay? And you've got people in the world even today who has everything handed to them on a golden platter. You've got all the money in the world you need. Okay? You've got all the food you need, all the riches, all the many homes and mansions and all the businesses and all the, the jewelry and all the things of this world. You've got it all, but you freaking got hell inside of your mind. You cannot figure why you're not happy. Why aren't you happy? So the point is really the true heaven and the true hell, and don't even use those words because those are just words that people created. The point is, and many religions believe this, I think Buddhism teaches that and all, but it's really the mind. It's hell is, so if heaven and hell is in the mind, then it makes a lot of sense that when you go over to the other side, how re-experiencing these things in your mind or in your being, in your spirit, could be hell. If you're putting out hell here on earth, you're going to feel hell on the other side.
You know what comes to my mind? Hermetics. What is the first law of hermetics?
Everything is mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, mind is what we call God. Mind is what we call that spirit. Mind is what we call that love, that source, that energy. It's mind. That's all there is. Everything is God. Everything is mind. When you realize that everything is mind, that you are part of that source, you can't get away from yourself. You can't get away from who you are. And you realize that, you are the all. You are God experiencing itself here. And let me put a plug in for the Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh series, man. Grab that and open up your mind.
Oh, my goodness, yes. That book is life-changing. I've read a few books throughout my life that just transformed my life. This has been one of them.
Mine as well. So, little plug for Neil there. Listen, moving right on along. Daphne, would you like to take the next one, please?
It's not something you're unable to withstand. This happens because you're unable to live in a state of union with God unless those old wounds are cleared. Everybody experiences the pain they caused others. It comes with spiritual growth and being born in the Spirit.
Very good, very good. So this is a very good one here. It says that it's not something that you're unable to withstand. So the bottom line is, guess what? There has been billions of people who's transitioned before you. They've all went through it. There's going to be billions more going through it, and they're all going to be able to go through it. So the bottom line is, it's not something that you cannot withstand.
Right.
It's going to be probably bittersweet, but it's going to be done in love. Okay. And so like here, it says that you can't really live in harmony with love until all that stuff's cleared out. So we call it the purging. That's what the life review does. It balances your energy. It puts you back in balance with things. It purges you with all the garbage that you've accumulated here on earth, if that makes any sense.
Yes. And I like the way this person brings it out, talking about the life review. This happens because you're unable to live in a state of union with, I'm going to say, source, energy, the divine energy, unless those old wounds are cleared. Because you can't carry the negativity, the bad, over into pure love.
Can't.
So that's why we have the life review, to get back to pure energy.
Right. It's what we call the purging. It's to balance out the energy of all the bad energies we picked up while we were here, for lack of words. So anyway, looking at the clock, we've got time for another one. We're going to move on along and get one more here real quick. But as we had mentioned earlier, this is a marathon, so we'll be having plenty more.
We'll be having some more for you.
Yes. So anyway, this final comment, it says that we learn and become better people from the pain that we cause and the pain that we go through. That's the point of the life review. Mm-hmm. What is the ultimate way? And I don't want to use the word payback, because that's a human. I'm trying to use human words to describe it, okay, so people can understand. But to put things back in balance, when you harm someone, okay, let's say, for example, someone had harmed you. Of course, the best thing is love. Love conquers all.
Turn the other cheek.
But let's say if you did something to someone, the ultimate way to balance that out is it has to be done to you. So, now you know how it feels. Kind of like how many of you guys had toddlers when they get that toddler age, or, they want to start biting things and biting this and biting that. Now they want to start biting other people. I've heard of stories where a child will bite you, on the hand, you grab them and you bite them. Of course, you're not chunking meat out of their hands, but the point is you put a little bite on it and they never did it again, okay?
Exactly. That happened with my son.
There you go. So the point is that the best way for a person to understand the point is for them to experience it themselves.
Yes.
That's why we have the life review. Okay. Let's say if you take, say, like, and I'm not dogging out or bashing Christianity, I'm just going to use it as an example. And in that scenario, you're going to be up there. They're saying you're going to be judged. You got to stand before God and the angels, and you're going to be judged, or better yet, if you believe in Jesus, you get your get out of jail free card, but that's not the way it goes from what I understand. But over there, never in the Bible is it taught that you have to re-experience what you did to others. It just says, no, you're going to be judged by what you did, like it or not. If your name's here, okay, you can cross over. If not, you're going to be thrown out in the barbecue pit out back. The point is, it just makes so much sense like this. The best way, and you're not harming anything or anyone. You're just keeping that energy in balance. In other words, they put out that harm, and might not have even known it. Well, guess what? The best way to feel it, or the best way to experience, or the best way to grasp the depth of their actions, okay, would be for them to experience it themselves. That to me is the ultimate experience. It's the ultimate teacher. It's not, let me ask you this, is not experience the ultimate teacher?
Yes.
Yeah. And from what I understand, like reading the book of the Conversations with God, God started out as the source. Okay, he already knew he was God, or it was God. It's both masculine and feminine. It's not the he.
I was going to say.
Yeah, well, that's religious. So I'm still a work in progress.
Oh, well,
but anyway, you've got that, and it said that okay, God already knows it's God, but it was just a knowing. There was now how can I experience myself? And so he said I broke away from myself in billions and gazillions of infinite parts of me, so that I can reflect back on who I am, so I can have all of these different experiences of me looking back at me as who I am. I don't know if I'm even wording it right.
I know what you're talking about.
I'd have to go back and probably can read it and quote it, but
source energy, the divine energy, created all these things, and it is that source energy, but it couldn't have any kind of experience.
Right.
So it created all these things that could bring back experience
Correct.
to it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say.
I get that, yeah.
So that's why you have all these, everything is God. That when you understand that, and
yeah,
it is that
this tree, this plant out here
Correct.
is experiencing life because it is alive. That it will bring back that experience to source divine energy,
and that's how. And God is ever changing. That's what Some people says God never changes. Well, that source core, from what I'm understanding, is ever changing. And, God is not just one here.
It's growing.
Yeah, it's all, and it's only here, right now. There's no such thing as the past, no such thing as the present. I had to grasp that. It took me a while to wrap my head around that. Okay, so those of you who don't understand that, give it time.
Yeah.
But when you understand that everything is happening right here, right now, there only is the now. Okay, and we only use past and present and future and things like that kind of expressions to really understand time here, linear in a sense here in this realm, or whatever, but it's supposed to be so different on the other side, that the illusion of time's different or something, but anyway.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Miss Daphne, I hate to go ahead and cut this episode off here, but time restrictions, it looks like we're going to go ahead and do that, but we've got plenty more to pick up on some more episodes, so we'll just pick up on the next one with where we left off here, and we got some really good stuff. So any final comments on today's episode? Anything kind of stick out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to remember that we are part of the divine. So we have to live in the best that we can, so we don't have a hellish life review.
Yeah, that's a very good point. There's a lot of people do. There are hellish life reviews out there, guys.
We're going to already experience a hellish...
I mean, NDEs, hellish NDEs, right? They do have those, so...
Yeah, I mean, we're already going to experience, if you want to call it hell, it through the things that we've done. So we have to pick up from this point and send out as much love as possible.
It's never too late to change.
Yes.
Yeah, if you caused harm in the past, just don't keep doing it. Love. Just put out the love. That's the key. Go.
And I'm going to say this one, and a few comments back, that the judgment day that is taught through many religions is the life review.
Yeah, good comment. I like that. That was actually the opening comment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it gives you a different perspective, and maybe if a person is very indoctrinated, and I can tell you how your level of indoctrination and just how far either off or how far imbalanced you are is if you hear these kind of things and it just maybe ruffles your feathers. It makes you feel uncomfortable, or it makes you feel like you want to know they don't know what they're talking about. That's not what the Bible says, whatever. That's fine. We're not here trying to challenge anybody's belief systems. We're just trying to give everybody different perspectives, So I've been where you are, and Daphne has as well, and there's many, many, many other people who have, we don't knock religions. We've taken good out of religion ourselves and just kept on growing with it. As long as it serves the good.
It can help you to grow.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it can keep you in a good place.
Yeah.
And there's beauty in that.
So,
but you've got the flip side
good
of the coin as well. So, that's why I myself, for my walk, I don't include myself into any kind of religious dogma.
No.
Or indoctrination.
As soon as you choose a religion, you automatically choose an enemy. As soon as you set up a religion, you automatically separate yourself from who? Other religions. Who? Other people. So you're already setting yourself up for duality. You're setting yourself up for separation. You have to get out of everything that man has made, all these human constructs that separates us, that divides us, and realize that we all are one.
Right. We talk about judgment so much on this podcast. I think about a meme that I recently saw, and it hurt me for other people because it was so condemning. It says, you're not going to burn in hell for this or that. I mean, it went through a long laundry list of things that you're not going to burn in hell for. You were going to burn in hell for.
It's because you didn't believe in Jesus.
Because you didn't believe in their deity.
Yeah.
So.
And I remember seeing that. So stick with me here. Something on the lines of, oh, you're not going to go to hell for like killing people. You're not going to go to hell for like dyeing your hair blue and green. You're not going to go to hell for tattoos.
Or doing drugs.
You're not going to go to hell for doing drugs. You're not going to go to hell for, smoking and sex and drugs. I mean, all this horrible stuff that you should not be doing. He said you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus.
There's judgment in that.
Goodness, do you not understand how that sounds to a spiritually mature soul?
It's condemning.
That's condemnation.
That's
please.
separation.
That's separation, guys. Let it go. But that's the shallow-minded thinking of a lot of people, even though they have hearts the size of Texas and the best intentions in the world.
They do, yeah.
I love all. They're all all of humanity is
but
our
that's
family.
The separation. That's the point.
That's the point at hand.
That's the separation.
There's a separation, guys. So if what you believe teaches separation, then you're going to have to consider, maybe perhaps going in a different direction. Just saying. So, well, listen, Miss Daphne, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And I thank you so much for coming out and doing the podcast with us today. And we couldn't do it without you. And I appreciate you so much. And we thank you all for tuning in today. And just want you to know that we love you so much. And may peace be with you all. And until next time.
Y'all let your light shine.
For more information about the NDE World Podcast, visit nde.world. That's nde.world.